Elizabeth II sets in motion several plans: Operation London Bridge, Operation Unicorn, and Operation Spring Tide. These are the detailed plans that, with the Queen's blessing and guidance, governs what happens now that she is no longer the monarch. These plans have been in the works for years. The moment Queen Elizabeth died, her 73-year-old son, Prince Charles, became King Charles III, and his wife is now Queen Consort Camilla. Operation London Bridge governs everything from how the news was broken about the Queen's death all the way to the social media etiquette. And Operation Unicorn includes the plans for getting the Queen's coffin back to London from where she died in Scotland. Operation London Bridge dictates a 10-day mourning period for the entire country. The Queen's televised state funeral will be at Westminster Abbey and will be held sometime around the end of that 10-day period. She'll be buried next to her late husband, Prince Philip. At the same time, Operation Spring Tide is in motion. That is the plan for Charles to ascend the throne. One of the first actions happens the day after the Queen's death. So tomorrow, we will hear from the new king in a televised speech he's giving to the Commonwealth, and the rest of the world is going to be watching too. Then a special council will meet at St. James's Palace. British officials and members of Parliament will proclaim the new king and swear allegiance to him. The actual coronation of the new king probably won't happen for a few months. Now, there are a lot of other logistical things that have to change now that the Queen is no longer alive. Her face, her official colors, her symbols are on almost everything in the UK, on money, on passports, on flags, on stamps, and yes, of course, the Commonwealth anthem will change from God Save the Queen to God Save the King.
I'm sure you heard. Queen Elizabeth is no longer with us. This lady held on for a long time. And can anyone tell me the symbology of the number 140 behind her death, though? Queen of England in simple gematria equals 140. And then if I take the Queen's birthday, April 21st, 2022, and add 140 days, get to today. What the symbology behind the number is. That's kind of why I'm making this post. Like, what the hell, that's a little odd, isn't it? But it gets weirder. Prince Charles of Wales, the guy replacing her, equals 666 in gematria. The pronunciation of his name in Hebrew equals 666. Prince Charles of Wales equates to 666, and translated from English into Hebrew and then compared to gematria, it still equals 666.
Hello, my slaves, it's your favorite ruler, Jack Klaus Schwab Jr. I'm here at my sister's castle making nude sunbathing. She is in a trance making communications with the Intergalactic Federation, with the Draco Reptilians to make treaty with them. Helga, how is the treaty going for you?
Scheiße.
Oh.
Wann rufst du?
Oh, I'm not calling anybody. I'm making video for my social media.
Du hast mir unbroken.
I'm trying to connect with the millennials, but I've made interruptions of the meeting. I will suffer severe consequences for this. I must delete this video.
Did you know that the Queen died at 96 years old? And that's actually the same number as the oldest Freemasons Hall in all of the UK. And that number actually matches the number that the illumination of the moon will be tonight, the same day as her death. This conspiracy theory suggests that the Queen didn't die today. She actually died close to a year back, and they were using a body double to wait till this date so they could get the significance of the symbolism of the numbers I just showed you. Now that King Charles took her place, him and Schwab's Great Reset plan can really kick into high gear, or you'll own nothing and be happy. Live under a one-world government where they have absolute power. And since world leaders across the globe have been resigning, it's leaving a big hole that the New World Order will have to fill, which according to wilder conspiracy theories, suggests he who fills the throne is the Antichrist, and this is the beginning of the end. What do you think?
Here are the countries that broke free from British rule during the Queen's reign: Ghana, Malaysia, Cyprus, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Kuwait, Zanzibar and Tanganyika, Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda, Jamaica, Kenya, Malawi, Malta, Zambia, Maldives, Gambia, Guyana, Botswana, Lesotho, Barbados, South Yemen, Mauritius, Eswatini, Tonga, Fiji, Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Bahamas, Grenada, Seychelles, Solomon Islands, Tuvalu, Dominica, St. Lucia, Kiribati, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Zimbabwe, Belize, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Brunei.
Prepare now. Why are all the celebrities canceling their tours, canceling their shows for the upcoming months? First, I just thought it was The Weeknd and Justin Bieber. It reminds me of the 1,300 CEOs who left their post prior to the world being locked down, as if they knew something was coming. Do these celebrities know something is coming? While everyone is distracted with the Queen's death, the art of war is to seem powerful when you're weak and weak when you're powerful. This could be all a distraction, and she could have passed away a long time ago. As everyone's looking this way, what's going on in the background? Luke Combs canceling because his voice wasn't up to par, just like The Weeknd. Shawn Mendes canceled all of his tour dates. Carlos Santana cancels. And all these tours are for the upcoming months ahead, where a lot of astrologers are saying some sort of violence could happen, could a debt jubilee happen, an economic collapse, or a reset. Swedish House Mafia cancels their shows. Foo Fighters, Mandy Moore, Weezer's canceling.
I've made a startling discovery. There's good evidence that's recently come to light that back in the Middle Ages, one of the kings of England was illegitimate. And if that's so, it means that every king and queen of our country since shouldn't by rights have sat on the throne. I've traced the real royal family, the bloodline that's been robbed of its inheritance. And I've discovered the person alive today who should be Britain's reigning monarch. Edward IV was king, but his claim to the throne was fatally flawed. I found evidence that he was conceived not by his royal father, but by a humble archer. It was the summer of 1441. England was at war with France. Edward's mother had gone there with her husband. While he was away fighting, she was rumoured to have had a fling with an English archer based in the Rouen garrison. 9 months later, Edward was born. Within 20 years, Edward became Edward IV. But gossip about his parentage persisted in his lifetime and even after his death. There were rumours flashing round the Tudor court that Edward was illegitimate, and William Shakespeare actually articulates those rumours. He says in Richard III, if I can find it, "When that my mother went with child of that insatiate Edward, noble York, my princely father, then had wars in France, and by true computation of the time, found that the issue was not his begot." That's pretty clear, isn't it?
As well, which was supposed to take place September, the Fugees canceling their tour. Wyclef Jean had an assassination attempt on him as well. Do they know something is about to happen? Rage Against the Machine cancels their Europe tour. The Baby cancels his concert, and they're saying it's because of low ticket sales, if that's to be believed. These big artists with low ticket sales. Anthrax cancels their tour, and this is all for September, October, November. Oliver Slim cancels his tour for September. A lot of these bands, I don't know who they are. Dead Can Dance cancels tour for health reasons. Bieber cancels for health reasons. Bauhaus cancels. Rage Against the Machine canceled. So the Mad Cool Sunset, which was supposed to take place September 10th, which is that big astrology day, going into September 11th. And why didn't they just put it on? I mean, you have Run the Jewels playing. They could have headlined. They're bigger than Rage at this point. But no, they canceled it. Limp Bizkit canceled because of health reasons. Alanis Morissette Scraps tour. It's just very similar to the CEOs who left their post right before the lockdown, as if they knew something was coming.
Historians put it down to political mudslinging. But then an English historian called Mike Jones started rooting around in the archives at Rouen Cathedral. And he discovered a document that for the first time provided facts to substantiate the rumours that Edward was a bastard. When you came here, what was it you were researching?
I was looking into the records of the 100 Years' War.
And you found this thing?
This register.
What is it?
It's a record of the cathedral chapter for the summer of 1441.
What's so significant about the summer of 1441?
This is when Edward would have been conceived.
And what was it that you found?
That the Duke of York, his father, is not actually where he should be. He's on campaign in Pontoise. Prayers are being offered for his safety.
What does it say?
It says, a sermon is being preached for the safety of the Duke of York on campaign in Pontoise.
So they're worried that he's away at the very time when he was supposed to be impregnating his wife?
Yes.
But couldn't the child have been premature?
Very, very unlikely. A premature child would have been recorded.